Hello and welcome to the 9th episode in the Farleigh Park build series. As usual, got loads of small updates around the park and a few major ones, so let's get straight into it. I'm actually starting in the one area, well, one of two areas that actually has got no changes between the last episode and this one, and that is the western area, Storm Valley. I thought I'd just start here to make a change to the episodes, but I'm actually going to start over in the car parks where, tiny change, I've started work on the footbridge. So of course this will have loads of fencing and it will probably be floor to ceiling, so there's absolutely no way you can throw things off of this bridge. I did have two towers on either side, and that's kind of influenced where the lift doors are. However, I didn't like them, so I've removed them for now, and that'll be something I'll work on later. The top here, I've just stolen that from the city area and the roof for the Farleigh Flyer station. And yeah, on here we got the lift on the other side. Still some work to do on that, but I've at least made a start. So moving back into the main park, and we'll head to Buccaneer's Bay, where it's a very small change and you probably won't be able to see it, but something I've been doing around the park is just making the lighting a lot more realistic. I used to have a lot of lights kind of sunken into the ground, but realised it's not really how you do it in a real park. So like you can see here, I'm making an effort to get the lights actually visible like they would be in real life. The best kind of example of this is around here on this element, where you can see some of the lights kind of up on it on the tower and a couple more down here. Also, all the red lighting lights of this section up, you can now see the light visible around here. I'll probably still change this because it doesn't quite have the effect I want. And again, that'll kind of be like a bunch of lights hidden on this side, lighting up the castle kind of across the lake. Moving on to Outpost 5, obviously not going to go too far, but I'm just doing the same thing with the lighting really. So I've done the area around the lift hill in the first drop. I just have to do the main ride area that's kind of away from the plaza, and then that will be all that lighting realism-ified, if that's a word. Moving on to Deadwood, some more queue-line theming going in. I've done all the rocks and trees and stuff going up the side to here, but also around the top here I've started work on the theming. So you've got the gravestones, the lanterns, the dead trees, all the rocks. Really happy with it, and once again you have like the realistic lights around the back here. So this one completely out of view, but it lights up the don't know what you call it, whatever this is, it's in the spooky pack, lights it up really nicely. And I've discovered you get a really nice view of the wing over drop just there, which I think is pretty cool. Is there a train coming? There we go. So you can be queuing up here, admiring the scenery, you look up and boom, there's the coaster flying down, and it actually looks really cool at night. If I just go to the other side, I'll put a screenshot on the screen now, but from this angle over here the moon lines up really nicely with the drop, which is really cool. And again, I've just been doing some more lighting work, so raising the lights out of the ground so you can actually see them. So that's the same kind of like here with the tree lit up, the inline twists along the side, as well as a few other spots around the area. So I think this has a couple of lights hidden somewhere. I can't find them. They are there though, I can promise you that. There's also a couple here in the bushes lighting up this section, where of course you have all the smoke and the train kind of bursts through it, which is really cool. I may add a few more smoke effects coming out of the top of the tree, so it's a proper curtain of smoke. But yeah, that's an effect I may add. If we keep going in a circle, nothing in the Viking area done. But we're moving now on to the adventure area, which does have the main focus here. Now, I know I said in the last episode that I wanted to have one of the two areas finished. I've been really busy in real life and I just haven't been able to do that. However, I've been making some good progress here in the adventure area. Not sure if I showed this in the last episode, but there is now a ride photo booth for the spinning coaster. Very happy with this. I basically took the dive coaster, where is it? This one. Copied it over and then made a few modifications, such as the number of screens, but also changed up the design of it ever so slightly, just to have a bit more variation in the buildings. And I've also left this side unthemed for now, because I might try and tie it into the spinning coaster. if we move around here, before we get onto what's around the back there, just been doing some work on the fencing and also some of the shade. I really like the design of this shade cell with the sticks kind of going off at an angle. But if you go around here, we've got some more shade, but also a lot more of the queue line. And I'll also put in the usual kind of, don't know what you call them, they can basically change the queue line as they want around there. And yeah, started just kind of experimenting with the fence design. I'm quite happy with this. You've got like the scaffolding wood turned on its side, and these cool pieces, I think they're called Ancient Statue Prop 2. It's like the pillars, and around here I've kind of flipped them upside down to create the shade canopy. So yeah, very happy with that. And now I just need to do the fencing around the rest of the queue line and then the building. All this part is themed, wasn't sure if that's in the last episode or not, but moving around here, I've replaced the Rising Raptor with the Swift Drifters. I just wasn't really a fan of how big that ride was, and it kind of took away from being able to look up at the Hyper. So I thought I'd keep that as a sightline and just have a much smaller ride here. Can definitely do some cool theming around here with the platform and kind of covering this section up. I can put some cool things in the middle. So yeah, got a very basic queue line. I think it works a lot better with this, and also be able to get like a proper emergency exit for this block section off the spinning coaster. Kind of with this, instead of going right into the ride area of a giant tall flat ride. So yeah, I think that looks a lot better than what was there. If we move over to the city area, there's a huge change back there you may have just seen. But first of all, I've done this facade, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. You've got like all the plants kind of overhanging the side. You have the area toilets now all detailed up. I may still do some different walls in there. Not sure yet, and I do want to put something on this wall back here, but as I said, not sure yet. Something else I have done, but I don't think I mentioned, I won't show you all of them, but the wheelchair access points, I've gone around the park, made sure they're there, put the arrows in as well to show where they are, and then in places where they're like away from the main entrance, like in this case it's around the corner, just put in the safety information and a height check marker once again. This is of course the main exit, but because it's got the ramp in there, unlike, well, I mean this does have a ramp, but it's quite a big one, so I think it'd be better to have a also it's a very small ramp over there. This is a much larger ramp. Oh, gone outside. So yeah, we can have a much bigger ramp for people with wheelchairs. They've got a lot more space to get up to the station, which hasn't really had any changes. Definitely going to be a long project, this one, but a huge change is the Great Escape is no longer a roller coaster. I thought it's a bit unrealistic that a park is like a giant hole in the side of a hill, so I thought what's probably happened here is they've kind of dug away the terrain a little bit, done the building into the side, and put a dark ride in here, shooting dark ride. And I think because it's like a film here, I'll be able to do the scenes as if it's an IP ride, which I think getting an IP ride is a lot more realistic in a park than kind of having the entire thing original themes. I mean, even a place like Europa Park has an IP section, and same with Fantasia, they have Crazy Bats. Is that an IP? I'm not sure, I think it is. But yeah, so it kind of goes around here into the old queue line section. I have dramatically reduced the queue line now, so instead of all the bits it had back there and kind of off to the side here, that's all gone. It's a lot shorter with options for quite a few queue line extension points. They'd probably cut it straight across there, and they'd probably keep that part open. They might even just send everyone through the fast track on a quiet day. But with the removal of everything around here, I thought I could put in a second restaurant. So now we're going to have another one there, and of course we've got the other one around here. So it feels like its own area. And something I did want to do, but there's just not enough space, was to basically have the hotel here. You kind of be able to use the city area after hours, after the park is shut, for a restaurant and stuff. But of course, it doesn't really work. It's a bit like Rookburg, I think, with the Charles Lindbergh Hotel. You can still walk around Rookburg. But yeah, not enough space, so I'll probably build a restaurant into the hotel itself. Could have the entrance off to one side, that'd be nice. You could even try and build like an entrance in from the steampunk area. I don't know how I'd fit it in, but yeah, I might try to do something like that, we'll see. But back to the city area. So this is the dark ride. I had to do a ton of work to get the pathing to all work around here because I did a bunch of work to it. Obviously got the fast track signs, and yeah, we've got the maintenance area here, which then quite nicely back out to here. And I think overall it's just a much more realistic option to have in the building back here compared to the Q-line station of a massive coaster that went underground for most of its layout. And then the final change, not really a change, just an update. I am actively working on the hypercoaster layout. Doesn't really look like it because there's like nothing here, but I have been doing some different ideas around this area, what it might look like. Still not 100% sure yet. I'll try and have a few more turns and hills because the mid-course brake run is going to be around here, and then it will drop down into this section. So yeah, it is being worked on, but you might not see anything happening because I'm building a section and then changing it, just kind of over and over and over again. So that's an update on the hypercoaster, and that is pretty much going to be it for this episode. As I said, I've been quite busy in real life, so not too many changes, but it's mostly been some realism stuff and a few bits of theming. But now I've got a lot more time, should make some pretty decent progress in those episodes, and hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a like if you did, and if you want to see more episodes and some live streams of this project, please don't forget to subscribe. There'll be plenty of videos once a month, and I definitely want to do some more live streams building this park live. With that said, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.